Alright, so what are we going to choose? 1 or 2? 1 or 2? Let's choose 1. Ah, crap, I pressed 2. Oh, this sound. Oh, it's painful. It brings back lots of memories. Good and bad. Alright, let's get over it. So, guys, how you going? Adrenaline7 here, and we're playing a game called Police Quest. Alright, this is the first Police Quest game. Obviously, this is a text-based adventure, if you can tell. If you can't tell, then you're obviously too young to know. So the Police Quest game, basically you are a man called Sonny Bonds, who is part of the police force, and his job is to basically work as a police officer and do all the stuff he needs to. Yeah, Morris Fudley, yes, he's too cheap to shower at home. So yeah, the whole point of this game is that you need to go around, solve some crimes, and what am I getting? Get gun? You need to go around, solve crimes, and you're actually going to be making your way up to the, well, I wouldn't say top of the ranks, but you end up getting into a new department. So you go from being a lowly, normal police officer, and you end up being open case. There we go. You end up being part of the narcotics division, which is something you'll find out later on in the game anyway. But for now, oh god, you better be a good typer for this. Get ticket, book, get pen. Okay. Now I'm really going through this really quickly. Now every time you do an action, so the whole point of this game is that you have to actually go to an area, close case. Sorry, closed door just comes naturally to me. Because I do it more often than anything else. So this, yeah, being a text-based adventure, you basically have to make your way around to whatever area you need to go to and actually type in a command using the keyboard. Now, this type of game was really popular in the mid to late 80s. Get paper. But you know, once we got into the early 90s, instead of having text-based adventures, all this genre became more of a click and point-and-click adventures and stuff like that. So here's a little bit of backstory as well for the game here. Pretend you're reading a newspaper. And it's funny to see this text. You know, this text of you know, is this Times New Roman? This looks like Times New Roman, isn't it? Or it's very similar to it. Or it's like it's not Courier, is it? I don't know. Can't read. I don't think it's Courier. I could be wrong. So yeah, a little bit of backstory. So yeah, these text-based adventures became really popular in the mid to late 80s and basically died out. What am I doing? Drop paper. Yeah, it became pretty much redundant by the early 90s with the whole click and, you know, point-and-click adventure sort of thing. And the thing about these games as well is that and there's a few of these different games made by Sierra, who I think are owned by Activision now. So Activision have another stranglehold on game companies. So things like Call of Duty, things like Skylanders. They're in team with Blizzard as well. Yep, Sergeant John Dooley, giving the briefing. So Activision have got their hold on this game now. But, you know, these old Sierra games, they were pretty cool. And there's been a fair few of them. We are looking at, obviously, Police Quest, and there's been about 4 games in the Police Quest series, I believe, but there have been some other ones as well, like things like King's Quest, which they're still doing. They're still making new games for. Like, there was one game they made not too long ago, which was kind of almost like a rehashing of, or a rebooting of sorts. Oh, yeah, get over it. There we go. Okay, so 11:19 at Carol's Caffeine Castle later in the shift. Alright. Steve, I'll meet you there. So basically, I'm going to go have coffee with another police officer later on. Alright, there we go. Now, so yeah, there's a Space Quest series, there was the King's Quest series, and one of my favorites as well was the Heroes Quest series, or the Quest for Glory, depending on where you're from. And I've always remembered it as Heroes Quest. Because that's what it was called on the what was it, the 5 1/4 inch floppy disks that I used to play these games on. Yes, I used to play this game on a 5.25-inch floppy. F4. Whoop. I'm trying to remember all these shortcuts. The F keys that you use were, they help with simple functions like, getting in and out of cars or retyping text or anything like that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to save the game. It's a save game, and I'm going to call Game Uno. Now, I did try and record this game a little earlier, and it turns out that I was pressing a particular key, which actually ended up stopping my recording, so my recording was very disjointed. I'm like, well, that's kind of ruined, isn't it? So, okay, we're going to leave here. We're going to go up. Oh, okay. I'll go around this long way. So basically, we're just driving around looking for things to do. Oh, for God's sake, mate. Whoop. There we go. Yeah, this game does get a little bit confusing for me. Being from Australia, I usually, we drive on the left-hand side of the road, like normal people do. Sorry, Americans. But if you're not doing it like the English, then you're not doing it right. That's probably one way of putting it. And the only reason I'm saying that is, well, one of the reasons I'm saying that is, no, not get nightstick. One of the reasons I'm saying that is because my parents are English. That's why. Alright, so, open door. F4, close door. Oh, come on. There we go. So, as you can see here, we have a crime that has been committed. So, talk to man. So basically, it's like, officer, help him, help him. Alright, so look. Oop. That's man. So, closer look reveals that he's injured to the left side of his head and a gaping hole in his lower right jaw. Jeez. No pulse, no signs, so he's obviously dead. There's a bullet hole in the driver's window, so this was not an accident. It was a murder. Alright, so we get the idea. So we go talk to man again. And this guy comes forward and he's like, officer, I saw everything. Yeah. Come. So watch this. I'll tell you everything. Very much like those really small those Warner Brother cartoons where they have those, the really yappy dog who's always jumping and circling around the big dog. What was his name? Like, they had, that sort of thing. I can imagine this guy being one of those. So he starts talking about his life story and talking about how eventually what he saw. There was a bang and a blowout, and the car crashed. Okay, so use radio. Okay, so copy. We've got a 187 PC homicide, and so forth. So basically, just saying, all right, we've got someone dying. Come investigate. Okay. Yep. Continue investigation. Talk to man. Alright, so license plate number, partial license plate number, L964. Use radio. Excuse me. Okay, so late blue Cadillac with partial license plate number L964. Alright, cool. So do I have to use radio again? Estimated time is momentarily. Alright, cool. Let's walk. Yay! Now, with these particular types of games, you can see how, obviously, you need to walk everywhere. Now, the controls for this... Oh, wait, here they are. That was quick. The controls for these type of games usually have to use the arrow keys to go around everywhere, like up, down, left, right, all that sort of stuff. Alright, yes. He'll take care of everything like that. Open door. F4, close door. Ugh. There we go. F4 again. F5, I'm going to save it here. There we go. All done. Alright, we're going to continue on our merry way. Now, well, alright, calm down. So you have to use the arrow keys to go everywhere you want. However, if you noticed here, I've been able to walk diagonally as well. Now, you can go diagonal, but if you turn off the num lock, you can actually use the numpad and use the 1, 3, 7, 9 keys to walk diagonally. And, I wanted to wait for that car to go first because, and in this game, you cannot break the law. If you happen to break the law, you lose the game. So I can't go through these red lights without my sirens on and my lights on, otherwise I fail. And if I fail, then I have to restart the game or restart at a point where I last saved. And that's a bit of a pain, especially for one of the, it's going to be tough for one of the next things that I'm going to be looking at. one of the next crimes that I'm going to see. But what I'm going to do here is I am going to go to... Well, hopefully it's a... Oh, jeez. That was close. I should be... No, damn it. Alright, cool. I'm going to meet up with Steve, the guy who wanted to call me for my coffee break. Oh, here we go. That's it. Yeah, generally things don't activate until you get to a certain point in the game, like after a certain couple of rounds of the map. So that's really tough to get there. It takes a lot of practice. All right, close door. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, it helps being a fast typer, but the good thing about this game is that you don't have to type in full sentences either. You can just type in a simple command, and it generally works that way. Talk to Steve. It's good to see you. What about... Oh, this weather's been great. And you actually, this game does actually have a point system as well. But anyway, as I was talking about the text, you can type in a whole bunch of commands. You don't have to put in things like, sit, like for example, when I was in the meeting room, I typed on when I got to one of the desks, I typed in get paper. Now, technically, you don't have to type in the full sentence of pick up the paper. You can just write get paper. You can write broken, fractured English, and fractured sentences, broken sentences, and it usually works. It usually responds that way. So if you're a fast typer and you can just type in basic commands without actually making a full sentence, this game's actually pretty good. You can actually work this game pretty well. Oh, there we go, Carol. Thank you. Okay, so drink coffee. It also helps, you need to be a good speller for this one as well. So if you don't know how to spell a word, you're basically screwed. Oh, Jamaican Java. All right. I don't drink coffee. So, I find that coffee tastes like mud. Oh, jeez, ow. I hate PC speaker. Reminds me too much of, reminds me a lot of back in the early days, like the early 90s when I was playing this. So the way the PC speaker works, back when you had like 386s and 486s and stuff like that, there was only two types of sound. There was no sound, or there was PC speaker. Now, PC speaker, basically the way it worked, it wasn't like a normal speaker where you can actually turn up and down the volume using knobs or anything like that. It was just a speaker that was used in the computer, and you either had to turn it on or you had to turn it off. There was no volume control. So if you wanted to play a game late at night, and at least that tone's not so bad. So if you wanted to play late at night, if you wanted to play silent, if you wanted to play really quiet, it was either you either play it as loud using PC speaker, or you play it silently. Are you joking me? What's a door? You fool! Open door. There we go. Close door. Okay, what's my inventory? Do I have my nightstick? Yes, I have a nightstick. Okay, cool. That's going to be useful later on. So, what I'm going to do here, let's go there. We're going to go save this game. And you know what? I'm going to leave it there for now. So, guys, thanks a lot for joining us. And we are going to see you all next time. So long.